one more time for the 23-24 season. Head coach Tim Beauregard as Fresno Pacific hosts Azusa Pacific today. And this one feels a lot different for a variety of reasons as we close out the home portion of the schedule in the regular season. 11-1 at home. You know that you're the number 2 seed with a first round bye next week in San Diego. And you're celebrating 3 super seniors in Vanessa Cochran, Felicia Dorva, and Mason Ricks. A lot goes into it emotionally, but just as you reflect back, can you reflect back on just everything that has impacted and just kind of this last stretch that we're celebrating today?
Yeah, let me start with the super seniors. I'm writing out a little bit of a script and some quotes for them yesterday, and I'm with my wife. I'm in the car and I'm typing it out, and I started to cry already. And I was just like, and it hadn't hit me until that point where we're really playing good basketball, want to finish really strong. But senior night always gets me just because it's just a recognition of dream chasers that came into our program and left it better than they found it. And that's what we want with everybody we bring in. And this group especially, I feel like left a blueprint for anybody to follow them, all the women to follow them, of how to be successful here with us. And it is show up daily, care immensely, be unselfish, and chase a better version of yourself. And these 3 are such a great example of that.
So you look at that, you look at 11-1 at home. Second seed is locked up, no wiggle room either up or down, and you're playing a team that is looking for a perfect season in conference. Still plenty to play for.
Yep.
You're trying to send these seniors out on a high note.
Yeah.
What's really at stake in this game?
Fringe improvements, right? Can we be a little bit better? Can we be 5% better than we were in our last game in a couple of different areas? Against a team like Azusa, there's not a lot of margin for error. And so we don't have to play flawless. We don't have to play perfect. We just have to play connected, right? It's not about perfection. It's about connection. Offensively, sharing the basketball, connecting 100% passes, hitting some open shots is required against a team like Azusa, right? You can't have a bad shooting night and still compete with them. They'll make you pay. And then defensively, really being on the same page, covering for each other, connected, and then gang rebounding with each other. Those types of things have to be pretty apparent for us. It's about progression for us, so it's not about this game's everything. This game is our little platform going into playoffs, and so we'd like to have a better showing than we did the first time we played them. We didn't play great. It was a while ago. We're playing much better basketball. We know we can. Our team's really confident every time we go in to play anybody, and so now it's just in that first quarter, can we establish ourselves and how we want to play? And it's a really fun challenge. The hope, right, or maybe likelihood for them with how they're playing, and the hope for us is that maybe we see them in the championship game here in about a week too. So in a week, so that would be a good point for us to establish some really good trends today.
Well, and I was going to say, you don't want to look too far ahead, but something we've talked about as you guys have checked off some goals, right, of clinching a playoff spot, then clinching that first round bye, is now you're positioning yourself with all these goals along the way and these checkpoints to position yourself for a region push. And how much of a feather in the cap is it to have a win against a team who's going for an undefeated season in conference?
Yeah, we'd like to be the one, right? We just talked in shoot-around. We'd like to be the one in that notch for them in conference. I think it is a cool feather in the hat. We know we can. And it sets us up well. It opens up some other doors, right? So we'd at least be in the West Region conversation. And I think our team, we've been really honest all year with all of the things. We don't really hide anything. There's a certain level of maturity that this team has that we've been able to be really frank with them. It's like, hey, for us to be a West Region team, you guys are going to have to make some noise in the tournament, regardless. Now, a win today really helps, and we can forecast out what that might look like with a win today, going to make some noise in the tournament, and then we would establish ourselves probably right in the mix of that. And so, yeah, it's fun to have other bigger things to play for, but as long as we always center in on the fact that we're just playing for each other and having fun, then we're winning no matter what.
Well, we're going to do that, celebrate some super seniors tonight, and look forward to a good game against the conference leaders. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, sir.
Head Coach Tim Beauregard will be right back with starting lineups and tip on Senior Day here on the Sunbird Sports Network.